Yeah. Can I hear myself? Yes, I can. Okay, I'm good. Oh, good enough. Alright, now, last time, I had audio issues. I actually should fix that. I should put my headphones on and get started. Oops. Oh yeah, actually. That way, the audio... Okay, we're good. Now, let's get right in there. Continue. Back to it. The Adventure of the Great Departure. Yes! So, if I can hear myself for a second. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. What was I doing again? Why was I doing it? Oh yeah, this. Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been, the person eating the steak, the victim himself, no, because he couldn't eat it. Hi! Wonderflax! Me! I was eating the steak! Even though there's no reason I could have done. The two witnesses, even though... Why would two other witnesses eat the steak? An as yet unknown third party. Yes! That's the one. Obviously, it was someone else who was sitting at the person. You might not remember me. I think I do remember you. Objection! Objection! You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person. Hanafal! Hanafal. Okay. Yes! There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. I smashed my fist in sheer... Shit, I forgot the word. I smashed my fist in I can't find the word. Because I'm adamant. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. Except for the two witnesses, because they were talking with each other. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, I will use this sword to cut him down. We will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice in pursuit of fair retrial, relentlessly. Okay. Okay. Hi, Hanafura. Hanafura! Hi. Hi. Made the MP3 one. I'm just looking at the, I should probably show you what I'm looking at. I'm basically... Oh, uh-oh. That's not what I wanted to do. Kazuma! Are you insane? You would take on the government? Don't worry, Counsel. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them! Those two witnesses in the stand! Not on the stand? What? What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So if it turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving out your testimonies, obviously you'll be charged with perjury. Perjury? And since this is a murder trial, you'll also be deemed complicit in the killing. Hi, King Sorora Wolf Saint. I'm gonna say hi. Hi! 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 Alright, complicit in murder! No! Hold it. Negative! There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. Tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right. As the man says. Just say you never saw the gentle woman. That's what they told us. That's what they told us? So someone told you to shut up? Oh. What? What did you just say? Kurikuta-san?
No.
You were just following orders. No, that's pretty much what the Nosa said.
Now hold on, lad. I was,
Say you never saw the gentlewoman? Grr. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with the lady from overseas? What?
Objection!
I can't break my voice! What is the meaning of this? These two witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair? Just one simple slip of the tongue! No, lying is different from slip of the tongue. Order! Counsel, explain what is going on here! It's painfully clear now. My wrist hurts. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not! The prosecution knows nothing of this! That's pretty much written on my face. Oh my god. Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut?
Well,
That's classified! So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't! This can't be happening! Ryunosuke, judging from the way they've been reacting to this, I say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. Okay, they're not gonna say anything unless I figure out who it was. I got hair everywhere. Dear God. So the real question is, who got these people to shut up? Let's stop and think about this for a second. Let's roll. I don't believe she had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. Autoplay. It could have only been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well? Okay, let's rule out any possibilities. You could have done it, victim couldn't say anything from the beginning. You couldn't do squat, diddly. Medical school professor at the Imperial Unit of Me. He's an authority in forensic medicine, Kazuma's mentor. But he's not... He's not military, police, or anyone else that could be related. Aoshi could not have, so that only leaves Satoru Hosonaga. Huh. But then again, there was something I did see. Because in the last part, he was surprised to have given his card. Why is that? Oh, Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation. Ooh. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see what it says? The witness's name here, Satoru Hosonaga. Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. So he's a member of the police. So Hosonaga was in on it. He's the one that told him to shut up. Inspector, what on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If the willing is somehow here. Waiter's business card. On the front is stated, Hosonaga son is a police inspector. So is Hosonaga! Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. It was Hosanaga. Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever really did it wields your power. But how? How can we possibly? I think we just did. Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found new clues as a result. Ah, yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? I already examined the business card, so I'm good on that. We need to re-examine everything, make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. Jikonganai! I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure that the penalty will be severe. Please, wait! Your Excellency! I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god, including Amaterasu! Including the other ones I don't even know. I knew nothing! And what does the defense have to say about all this, Well, Your Excellency! No time to think. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and shout the first name that comes in my head. It was Hosanaga. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is Hosanaga. Yes! Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosanaga-san. Hosanaga-san, the winner who took the stand earlier?
Objection!
Poppycock! Oh crap, I'm out of character. You know what, fine, I'll just read it in my normal voice. What possible reason could the waiter have made these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not have possibly had that level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. If that is, the man truly were a waiter. What? If he truly were? Come on, Ryusuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosanaga's real identity is proven by this evidence. The business card. Hey!
Yes!
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question. Are you ready to show? I'm not sure we can conclude anything. Sorry, Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's interest. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should have said the front. There we go. Now I just slammed it. Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. The other, you could just say the other side, but maybe in Japan there's very little words to describe the other side. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Hosanaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of the business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession. The waiter's profession. But that's true. Good. Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. What? The waiter is police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power, absolute power, as far as regular citizens are concerned. Achoo! Bless ye, you kind soul. Alright, can I hear this properly? Let me hear this properly. Yeah, I can hear this properly. Okay, we're good. As far as the power are concerned. So, witnesses, they're in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you've seen this foreign gentleman at the scene? Well... It's probably Hosanaga. Yeah, it is. Inspector Hosanaga. I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. I pretty much saw in your face. The court will take this plan and add it to the court's record as evidence.
Oh,
That was snoring. Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once.
of course.
Here you are. That's why he was surprised, because his identity as an inspector would have been revealed. Yes, sir, remember now? He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand. Hey! Hi! Over the business card? I strive to carry out all of investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle, even if I have to get other people to lie for me. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake. Change your Discord after this, talking of game. What do you mean, Darren? Darren. What do you mean to say? You really are a detective? Dot, dot, dot. But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Why do you make a random group? I'm like, what? Ah, of course. Your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover. Wait, why did Naruhado mention your salary was terrible? Wait, what? Of course, your salary must be terrible. Why would he mention that? Your salary must be terrible. What the hell? I was working undercover. Why would... That's another thing I gotta look at. Why, anyone who works in the restaurant industry, salary is terrible? Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. I'm like, what? Check your Discord, I have a video for you. It's very... /good. Why? Why would you? Oh, God. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at everything. Incidents at the restaurant. What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to the case of homicide. But you did state that there was things. Very well then, Inspector Hosanaga, but you'll elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. And Hosanaga is the only other one that said that the victim, that there wasn't anyone else at the table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. When the game stopped checking about it, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you require these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? That's not how you cough. This is how you cough. Correct, Your Excellency. I did. Unbelievable! As I suspected, the wind is still blowing on my forehead. Bang! As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite of the victim at the time was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. Okay, check it. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say? Remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. Ooh, he was in on it. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of the relationship with Britain or highlighting anything at the moment. Even the truth. Please check your Discord, Gran. When it go in the video, he later did while you're offline. I'm looking. I'm looking right now. I'm looking at the ultimate weapon. I'm looking at what you posted. Give me a second. Here. Here. Give me a second. I'm looking at this. I'll look at it later. I'll put this back where it was. There we go. Okay, now back to it. It's 11 me. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an English woman as the primary suspect. Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the phantom woman in this case. But it's not right! Wow. Literally, Naruhado has to be convicted just so a country's relationship with another country can be preserved. What lies. Please, go to animation. After. I'll watch it after. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yume University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory is a young English woman. What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean? When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. And I probably need to save it, in case I have to answer that question. There we go. I want to see your reaction, not that dumb Sam. I want to see you flip shit on stream. No. Not until after. Are you gonna ask me to do that? Are you gonna ask me a name? The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying at the research laboratory at Yume University's medical faculty. What? What is happening here? Can I watch? I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these two witnesses to make no mention of her in the testimonies. Oh, crap. It must now be up to Her Excellency to decide how to deal with the situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to this court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered, the premise is false. It would be a discretion of the justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point. What? Objection! But, Your Excellency, that would be missing what? The new deadline of the ruling in order to send the telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government would surely be displeased by such actions. Calm yourself, counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other influence the proceedings of the courtroom. Inspector Hosanaga. Yes, sir. You will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But that means you'll be going against the special orders you're given from the police bureau. Oh, as I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem. That's how you cough. That's how you clear the throat. But I never bled like that. Nothing will get in my way. But why bleed from the mouth? Why bleed? I take it that is a no. Not while streaming. I will watch it after. Okay. Okay. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student, Giselle Brett, to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? I can never pull off a frickin' lumberjack accent. Yes. Your Excellency! Good. You'll have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Okay. To be continued. Right now! Alright. Now we finally need some progress. But you need to share your reaction. Oh god, why do you want to share my reaction? I'll give you my reaction afterwards, not on stream. I gotta breathe. 22nd November, 11:38 a.m. Supreme blah 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 blah. Third extra defendants and Chamber 5. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. Somehow the wind is still blowing in the hallway. For some odd reason. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. Maybe my lungs swam at it. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat. Your eyes were popping. Your knees knocking. And you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, we started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it. It's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Ha 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 ha. I laugh awkwardly. Anyways, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. I don't want to do it! Miss Giselle Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? Don't skip the animation of the video because I'll go skip to don't good animation. What? I got white stuff in my throat. That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson was alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Just don't skip the video I said. Yes, you have, haven't you? I may not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Even though my powers of frickin' the articulation are another story. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Just watch that fall to the end. Watch. Why? Thanks to a detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun laying on the floor. I just went after her, bent down to pick it up. Bang! I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended a suspect with a movement's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Is that the professor? That is the professor. Professor Miko Toba. Well, it seems I was right. My pom-pom on my chest still seems to be there. Okay. The pair of you make an outstanding team. Even though Kazuma didn't do much, she only did, like, frickin' moral support. Being the serious-faced anime character that he is. I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start, to exclude me from any participation whatsoever. You arranged things so I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system, even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to the Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend to avert the work crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What do you say, Kazuma? My way or the highway. So that's your sense. I was afraid you feel that way. Basically, pride. Pride. Okay, I'll say okay. Okay. Not while in the middle of a stream. Shortly after I finish. Besides, it would be irrelevant to push whatever that is on stream. Oops!
Kazuma,
Well then,
it looks like it all comes down to you, young man.
to me?
Yes, you need to prove your innocence, and a couple really took place in the restaurant.
Technically, it's actually up to the prosecution to prove their case first. Innocent until proven guilty. But in a Japanese court, it's the other way around. Guilty until proven innocent.
I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case.
Come to think of it, you said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he?
What kind of personal connection is it?
If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim?
Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at Uni, and it was I who invited him. Oh. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. You never said much. Anyway, you're about to go into battle.
Actually, we're about to go into court, but then again, what is the difference?
The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement in our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide.
Yes! Let's just both cross our arms while we both be serious. Yes, I'm sure the prosecution will be using a ritual to dispose of the quash your case. Technically, the prosecution's not going to do squat, because even Ouchie didn't know much.
But I had no idea Peril will put up a good fight right to the last.
Now,
Best of luck.
thank you! Domo arigatou gozaimasu! Hey.
Now then, I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need.
Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama.
Ah.
I was actually reading an article that talked about where certain dialogues in the game, when some of the characters use like honorifics like sama or san, is usually when some characters are speaking Japanese to each other. She fades away.
You've had an error!
Court recess is now over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once.
To be judged harshly. It's time, let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow.
Before those old fossils know what's hit them.
Really?
Kazuma.
What?
Thank you. Really. I could not have done it without your brilliant breeze across the head.
What for?
Well, if you hadn't said you believe me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already been found guilty by now.
Look, I have faith in you. That's quite different than believing. As a lawyer and as a friend.
Coming from you, that means a lot.
Really? If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Wherever we're up against, we certainly cannot afford to lose. Ah, alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. Blech. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria at University Street. Really? There's also a University Street in Toronto. With an extra large portion, of course. I gotta save it. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Actually, I got to take a quick break and use the washroom. So... in the meantime, washroom break. So... let me just turn... this off. This off. And beer back! Actually, let me put that away. 3... there we go, okay, beer back. Ugh. Okay, I'm back. I see what you're typing there. Yes! Yeah! You sussy baka! No. Oh! It happened. My double click. I'm just having some vitamin C. I refilled my water. And I'm having some extra vitamin. You sussy baka. You're such a sussy baka. Alright. So. I'm having some other vitamin C's. Sissy baka. Sissy baka. You're sissy baka. Also, if you see Alex Raffer, he was in the last episode. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Alright. Give me a second. I'm gonna get back in. Oh. I got so much freaking foam in my throat, dear God. It was like really bad all day. I couldn't even breathe properly. It was just, oh God. Couldn't stop coughing all day. All right, let's get this going. All right, let's get this going. Save it. I saved it. We're good. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Aoshi, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. Sorry. Let the government scrutinize, that's their job, it's nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge with the trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and a nation founders? Again, terribly sorry. Yes, he's to blame. Because bigger and higher people can't have their ego struck. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't really worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is that what our nation's justice system really is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan? Or of England? Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing. Nothing of the situation that our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with a great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. Right. I won't deny that I am no expert. I'm just a student. And one could arguably study harder too. And standing here now in the Supreme Court, there is one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Well said, Ryunosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror. You little brats! Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of a nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett. Yes! Yes, that's it! He just banged his head right on the freaking desk. Which one? Which one? What? Well, what is it like to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land? Tea! Someone bring English tea! In English, no discussion take place without tea. Really? Is that true? No idea. Not everyone from England does the tea thing. Maybe back then, I don't know, who gives a shit, but not everybody in England does the tea thing. And then some random English person goes, oh, every English person does a tea thing. I don't know. Could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. The question was for Giselle. I have been working undercover as a head waiter at Le Carnival. Am I true? Yes, we know all about you already. Espresso Kunasawa, worry matters. In England, it's always ladies first. Now, how would you know about that? I really wonder. Is that true? No idea. At least not after Titanic. No, don't make a Titanic joke. This is way before Titanic. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Ah, yes! I think I did, didn't I? Yet, your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, RuneScape, but the powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Also, I'm not impressed at all. Look at the way I hold my sword. Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. Interesting, he doesn't show her eyes. I don't know. I suck at cursive writing. I suck at cursive writing. Even I can't read that. Even I can't read that shit. Maybe because this game was originally from Japan, so it's sort of like a Japanese person's point of view, what English would be. It's like a Japanese person trying to look at English and they can't make sense of it. So it's sort of like a weird cultural thing. I'm terribly sorry, dear lady. What? There's the thickest cursive writing I've ever heard. I don't know. What can I? The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in UMaine University's medical faculty. Oh my! What a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was the most beautiful as a hummingbird's song. As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. How can you tell? You obviously do. Fine in England, Kazuma. Your English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Not you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. What? The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? And I'm translating whatever the hell it is. Of course, there's a question mark there. I don't know how you could explain everything just like that. She says yes. That's a lot of words for yes! This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. Nihongo wa kanai? Zanen desu. Even I know Japanese. At least a little bit. As shit as I am, I know a little bit. But I don't know whatever that is. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene, even though you clearly took her from there. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. That's a lie. You took her out. Interesting, where you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following a special order from the Bureau. Well now, dear lady, will you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunate present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your plenty eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? So you're gonna cast Naruhodo as a witness, and she's gonna answer in English without having Hosonaga translate. Huh. Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. They're gonna cast her as a witness instead of the perpetrator. The very moment when the accused standing right there in this courtroom shot the victim in cold blood. Oh, wow. Order in the court! Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have absolutely conclusive witness statement. Well, it looks like it's clear now. They're gonna cast her as a witness. Clear who our real enemy is. The liar bitch on the stand. We have here the Susie Baka here in the courtroom. Yeah, the Susie Baka. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you formally. Testify, if you please. Oh, great. Dang it. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of the threatening and sorrowful sight you described. Probably telling her to testify. Is it not possible that Hosnaga is telling her what to say as an interpreter? I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. Oh, you're gonna lie straight there. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. Okay, there's 3 points. There. This is a condemning testimony indeed. Hey! No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all. Oh, great. Quiet, you filthy wretch. Look at you, you black-headed blackguard. And look at the snow-white angel. Clearly, we must judge someone by the color of the clothing. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe. You're still making the same mistakes, Rinosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. Also, stop making me sad. But it's so annoying. Archie? Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the 2 witnesses who testified before and reported back to the bureau. It was decided that Miss Bright was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last 2 witnesses were completely worthless. However, well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there's nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. I would think that she could have had a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. Unless and until the precise location where the witnesses to hidden a weapon could have been shown, this is moot. Ah, crap. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. So that's why she left it at the scene. Those are the witnesses' own words to the matter. Ah, that's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up the dress, I could prove it. I'm pretty sure that would be invasive, but okay. Don't think about doing anything rash, Rinosuke. But I didn't throw the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. Was there another gun there that day? You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. Really? There's another gun at the scene? Alright, save. Because we all know I'm going to screw up at some point. Alright. And to do so, we'll need to pull up her testimony apart. To cross-examine. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. I wonder why she smiled at the end. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Okay. A frightening and sorrowful sight. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. Yes! Okay, never mind. After 2 p.m., in fact. That's really quite a late lunch, isn't it? Attention! You don't keep up with the latest fashion from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are en vogue, isn't that right? No. Huh. A decisive English has no... Wait, what? Did she answer no? Literally? Decisive English no has quite a sting to it. No! instead of, in Japanese, "Yeah," telling someone, "No!" Yes, it does have a saying. The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it was apparently a detailed occurrence that they would lunching together. But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. The dentist! As we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to a lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense. Such a wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is. So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. I would say hold it, but yes! He was unable to eat, you say. And that was because he just had a tooth removed at Hada Clinic, correct? That's right. He's answering that question, but she's not. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have a dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying event. Exactly as it was left. Really? Really? I don't know. There must be something off about this, but what? I don't know. Dear me, what a harrowing experience to have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I'll crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? Nothing to drink. That's right, other than some carbonated water. Just water? Mizu. Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. Wait, was that in the... yeah, I did say anything but water. So it appears that the diners trusted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Rinosuke, about the witness's last statement? Meaningful? Now that statement of yours, Miss Brett, has profound bearing on the case. Well, how fascinating. Do tell us what this profound bearing. That they drank water. Did not mention. The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness' last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well sidestepped, counsel. Very well. Miss Brett, kindly repeat what you just said to be added to the official's testimony. Gladly, she said. She didn't say anything. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I can really use that phrase. I'd hope there'd be some more useful tips you're picking up from the experience than that, Rinosuke. Other than looking good. I ordered a beefsteak for myself, and the professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. How is that relevant? How is that meaningful? So what? It's water. So what? I don't see anything that the water? Wait. There's one glass there. Here's a glass. There's one glass there. So... that statement says they both drank water. But there's only one glass there. So... objection! That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photograph I print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Oh my god, slam that desk! Slam that desk harder! That is, it's odd. Very odd. Dear me, what's odd about the defense's inability to express itself? Being inarticulate. Ugh! Rinosuke, what is it about that print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers. Miss Brett just told us that she had the professor say cheers over a glass of water. That usually means both of them. If that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1! Ah! So why is there only 1? You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Objection!
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutes to... I don't even know how to pronounce that. What possible difference do the presence or absence of a glass make it on the case?
Objection!
He was the only one that drank water, not her. Minutiae, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. My god, slam that desk! But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me you can clink with only 1? You're quite right. I can clink with only 1. I certainly took... oh, now run. 2 glasses to the table. Oh, great. Inspector, what did the lady say? It was seen that Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? Why? It was all so terrifying. Everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I had been there at all. She's saying... good gracious. Why? Why hide the glass?
Sorry.
Sorry doesn't cut it.
Come in this side.
There. As I assured the court before, this is no consequence at all. Why take the glass? Why? Even so, her presence would have been inevitably discovered. So why take the glass? Oh, please. We must remember that the student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who would blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in this state of disarray? That's absurd! Oh, really? So, do we take it that you're going to now accuse this vulnerable young beautiful woman of mischief? What? No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. And where did she take it to? It was seen that she slipped into a small handbag she was carrying. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency. A small, hand-held pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. So the beautiful lady has graciously explained why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that the glass was absolutely no bearing on the case. The student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah. But in the end, it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already. In Indeed. The lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed the glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter as no bearing on the case. I think it is, because I'd like to take a look at that glass. Because that's part of the scene. Counsel of the defense, are you in agreement? Well, I don't know really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. How? How am I going to show that it has deeper significance? Magnifying glass. I don't even know. I don't know how. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's deeper significance here. The handbag. The glass? That's just my guess. If you ask me, it's the fact that she took the glass that has a deeper significance here. Why do you think that? Because it's a property of the restaurant. It's not some harmless act of pilfering like take a bar of soap home from the public bath, is it? You take soap from the public bath? What? No. I mean, ahem. That isn't significant here. It's very significant, but this isn't the time or place. There are more important things you can concentrate on now. I think you maybe should reconsider your position too. It's the handbag. Oh, sorry. I will. Indeed. It's the frickin' handbag. So she took the glass. It's the handbag. Crap, I screwed up the first one. Wait! The lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep that up. It's already been explained to the court that all English women carry handbags for small items. I should remember that part, but okay. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brazel stated that following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. So, the handbag is a possibility? But, what she forgot to mention was her handbag. In which it would perfectly possible to conceal a gun. Oh my god, I almost forgot about that part. You're right! Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that one too. Crap. What are you insinuating, you vile black god? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire the gun, we can deduce there must be another firearm at the scene. A true murder weapon, if you will. You can't seriously be suggesting her handbag was used to carry the gun. Inspector Holsenaga. Yes. Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. He could be lying, but take it as it is, as I thought. In other words, another gun. The one that was actually used to kill the professor. Could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. And... No! Order! Order! What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of that, Professor Ouchie? Why on earth would you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Oh my god, this really putting pressure on me. There we go. Why did I? I don't know why did I. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? I wonder whose voice was that? You're coughing up blood again. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly, I have no faith in the police. What? As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. Who? What did... I have a piece of evidence here that I completely forgot about. This photographic print. This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Okay. Well, I never. You can see right through to what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. So where was the gun? As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that. Now how to ascend. Dang. Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you'll submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. The photograph of the handbag has been entered in the court record. Oh, God. Okay, I gotta take a look at that. Okay, photograph of the handbag. What did it say? Photograph taken by Hosonaga-san after the incident occurred shows Miss Rosette handbag on the chair by the victim's table. Okay. Clearly, there would have been a gun, but there isn't. Why is that there? Why the hell is there a burn mark on the victim's hand? Why is there a burn mark on the victim's hand? Why? That's the real question. I think you've had it long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel. The burn marker on the victim's hand. That's the only other thing I can go on. I don't know why that's there. Why is that there? And what is it? What the frickin' hell was it? Is that a frickin' cow? Upside down? And where have I seen that before? Ooh, why is that there? Huh. Interesting. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photograph print is just submitted in the court record appears to have no further significance. Oh, it does have further significance. There's a burn mark on his hand. I am satisfied that there is no longer any proof for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Indeed, and there is only one logical conclusion, that the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime. There is something you can make out of it. The photograph itself, the burn mark on the victim's hand. No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Even Kazuma is slumped over. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean? Is this it? Oh, even he lost confidence. Tish! I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat, while the strong eat. Quite a statement, and I don't think it refers to what you think it's referring to. Speaking of, I don't think the person who ate meat is very strong. You are wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. A fact you can chew on your heart's content from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma, what? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about this last photograph that the detective produced that we can contest. There is something. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. There is. You just haven't seen it. Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling. It seems that we'll be able to report to the British government on time after all. No, you won't. The smug little... Ryunosuke and Naruhodo, having considered all of the evidence placed before me, I hereby... Nope! Wait! Your Excellency! Ryunosuke, I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
Objection!
This amateurist is getting tedious. When His Excellency deemed that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. The most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Yes!
Yes, but... Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photograph print you just submitted appears to have no further significance. There is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now that means if there was problem with the evidence, some significant detail I mean, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question!
Objection!
This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. And it shows Mr. Handbag the gentleman is carrying the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence. Oh, there's a problem. The burn mark. You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag. Ha! My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. Very well, I'll grant the defense one final opportunity. That means I gotta save. Right now. What? But be warned, if I'm unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? I think you do, with the gavel in hand. Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photograph print. Inspector Hosanaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail which you have alluded. This. Right here. Present! Look at this. Here. There's very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description.
Objection!
Dear me, I was pondering what a new pitfall you would come up with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist? Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag. No, but it brings out new details. Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. Really? Really? Nose of a bullet, Ah, God. Pectoral ballistic. Why didn't he mention that in the post-mortem? But it was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered its burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. And I think I know where it was. However, as prosecutor actually points, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown. Now I gotta loosen these up. cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of the burn. Okay, you're saying something. She's saying something. That means something. I don't know. Anything could be anything. Excuse me, Excellency. It would be... Seamus Chip has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. She doesn't want to stay around to see this. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. Oh, she wants out. She wants out. No, she's not going to. Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you by any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. No, there's a connection that can be made. What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this firm does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, in the hope that I might uncover something useful. It's a burn mark from the dinner plate! Yes, you're right. I am? If we can just link the burn to the case. If we can do that, we might be able to prise the shutting door back open again. Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence that irrefutably linked to the burn on the victim's wrist of the case, then you would allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find some link between the burn and the case. It's the frickin' place. Whichever one. I don't think it can be that one because it's not shown there. But it has to be this one. Because that's the one where the visible thing is shown. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence to prove what the burn really means. It was on the dinner plate. It means... what does a burn mark really mean? The defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an connection between the victim's burn and this trial. It was... here!
Yes!
What's this, Counsel? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at the scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry up, Rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further would really be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay out of this a little longer, if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in the other photograph. How did the victim come to have the unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. Because Edgar Allan Poe said so. What?
Objection!
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how that plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is it? What in this photograph explains the reason for the victim's burn? The dinner plate. It's this thing right here.
Yes!
The beefsteak? Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate. Ah! Ah! Your Excellency, are you alright? As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. Ah! This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape. Ah! Ryunosuke, you're a genius. And also, I gotta use the washroom because I drank a lot of water. So, be right back. Okay, and I'm back. And this is what happens when I drink so much water. I need to use the washroom. Okay, I'm back. Now, let's get the headphones back on. It's really starting to put some pressure on my ear. Oh yeah, I wanted to get back to this game for a while. I really wanted to get back to this thing. Okay, this. Okay, there we go. Now, save that a second time, probably. Yes. Ah, Renosuke, you genius. You're spot on. So it does have a connection in the case, which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Objection!
So what does it mean? But even if that is the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, or the day before that. It's most likely at some other unrelated time. Well,
Objection!
Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim. Because... Thanks. Why? The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion at the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly. But... I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not particularly a large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. If you would have said something! Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable the victim would have let out a scream of pain then. Why? Because he was already dead! I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of the La Carnival, I can testify that without hesitation. But you're a detective, not a waiter!
Yes!
There you have it. Something isn't quite right here. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on the piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet the Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day or any before that. That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day, that would be beyond careless, I think, counsel. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antique dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Professor Aoshi? Well, yes, I suppose. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? Because he was dead. That's why. I almost don't believe Ryusuke. Do you think... Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but... I'm starting to think that maybe... we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson had noticed the burn. He would have noticed. He would have screamed. Was asleep. There's no way in hell he could have been asleep for that. Was already deceased! No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. Nobody. Objection! Thank you for joining in. Appreciate it. Yup. Igiari. As they say in Japan. Yeah. Okay. It's clearly impossible apart from one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead. Already? Dead? Which means that if he was dead when he was at the table, knowing what we know now is the only possible explanation. Now you slam harder. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead! That's madness! No! This is Sparta! No. Order, please! Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot. That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. Actually... no. He wasn't killed by a gunshot. He was killed by a loss of blood, even though it was from gunshot. My fault for not responding. I was helping my mom with something. That's fine. That's okay. It's just another rigorous ploy, but clearly has no grasp of the fact. No, Prosecutor Aoshi. It's you who have no grasp of facts. I beg your pardon? As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from the witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brent knows something about it. Yeah, she's the only one. There's no other way she could point fingers at anybody else. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett. that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement. But, Your Excellency... Alright. That's fine. No worries. I get it. Shit happens. We all gotta deal with it. The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency. What are you gonna say? Could you say anything? What? You're like frickin' Dahlia Hawthorne. What was that smile? Yes, of course. So she knows how to communicate in Japanese, yet she pretended not to. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. So she knows Japanese. Ah, Miss Brett, you speak Japanese? Nihongo o wakarimasu. Well, of course I do. I'm studying your country after all. But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now? My mother tongue. The Queen's English is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in vulgar tones as much as possible. Really? You look down on the Japanese. That's frickin' racist. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of the English gentleman. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with all you on your own level. Well. You're the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this lavishly consideration you so graciously afford us. I see. So desu ka. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. How are you going to talk your way out of this? I dare you. So, we're finally going to hear our own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. We were just about to be declared guilty right on the spot. But then we found something else. The victim's death. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor old man broke his wrist like that. You probably do! When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. I didn't ask about that, but now that you brought that up, but of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably couldn't pick up on it anyways. Interesting you bring up another possibility, whatever it may be. This most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history. Thank you. Easy does it. I hope that is the last time I'll have to say my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Nihongo wa kirei go. Japanese language is actually really good. I don't know why you look down on the Japanese. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. Not at all, not at all. It's a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony, this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. Minister of Justice! May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Don't ever say amen to someone else's suffering. Huh? Thanks? Was that a prayer then? Well, you have to forgive the irritation misspread and put a... screw it. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, Counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. Crap! Whatever it is, I gotta prove it here now. Otherwise, anything else? If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Yes. Ah, that's gotta hurt! That's gotta hurt the face! Ugh, Kawagai-tai. It's tight. Yes, Your Excellency. He slapped himself right in the face with both hands. My God. Whoosh! Ah! The victim's death. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man broke his wrist like that. That's probably irrelevant, so that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses and toast. Did we already talk about that? As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water. Is that right? Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember. Which explains why you ordered that drink, correct, waiter? Exactly as you say, sir. Although what? Whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table. I'm afraid I don't remember that. Damn you. What? Ah! I have enough English to understand at least for the benefit of the other court, which means, bless you. No. 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 I think it means exact opposite. Anyway... As far as I've heard... the postmortem report shows no other possible cause of death besides a gunshot. Hey!
Yes!
Yes. Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhaging from ballistic trauma. Yes. Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And there are no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death. It can only be from the bullet from the gun that put an end to the innocent man's life. But it doesn't make sense. The burn must have happened straight away, when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. And it would be cool slightly, he wouldn't be able to make a burn like that. And if the victim burnt his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought to him from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point. And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time. I concur. Prosecutor Ouchie is right. Okay, I gotta think of something. What? If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please show me. Yes! Without leaving a trace. What could it have been? Don't know. It is clearly a record of some medical treatment. And there's an entry for the date and extraction with the use of anesthesia. Extraction. Yes, it sounds like just before he went for lunch, Dr. Wilson had decayed tooth removed. He probably used laughing gas so he couldn't feel anything. No, that's nothing to do. It's possible to imagine not being able to feel pain, though. There's a cautionary note at the end of whoever wrote this. It says, no food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while the issue wears off. I don't know. Medical report required for every visit. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. Without leaving a trace. If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on that body. Quite right, dear lady. And as police force have thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosanaka? As I said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. be physical traces with all those cause of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it? Not so much like the carbonated water, which is bubbly all the time. Oh no, perish the fact, calling such a sweet young lady's innocence is a question. On my honor, I, Taketsuchi will be cut down any who dare cast such aspersions. A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. But what? But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up anyways. Yes! Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at the crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? What right? The carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction... Huh! Why are you saying something? Doesn't even occur to your native detectives trying to preserve the crime scene. He's... Huh. Why is Sanaga... I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand. Haha, kill a blow. This lady is formidable as she is beautiful. Amazing. You actually admitted our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Aoshi is starting to see sense? Or maybe Hosonaga didn't like that. I very much doubt it. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. Hosonaga. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think Hosonaga might say something. I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, I suspect it. She's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in our armor. Water, Ryunosuke. There is one thing I noticed. Something that has been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean... about Miss Brett? Actually, no. Hosonaga. About the person standing next to her. Inspector Hosonaga. The detective. Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose, once I press present on her last statement again. Alright, skip. Click!
Yes!
Click. Inferior, what do you mean by that? Okay.
Wait.
Okay. Maybe lost. Come on. How do I target him? Yes! There it is again! The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Ryusuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. What marker? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett. Does the person actually make the current statement? What? But by moving the marker left and right with that, you can turn your attention to other people. Okay, while you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue with X. If you catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere among the people on the stand, take a good look around. Alright then, so first I should move the marker. Here we go! Actually, which means even if the investigation makes a difference.
Wait.
There we go. Look around. There we go. Pursue!
Excuse me.
Excuse me! Sumiya-sen! What the? What's the meaning of this? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply. It looked like you were thinking of something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say. Something like to say, please share it with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? You quickly wipe the sweat off your face. It's a delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately. Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Oh my god. Yes! Not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in this case. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? That's what you gotta say. Well, yes, if you don't mind. I would like to speak. What are you gonna say? Is that when you say damn you? The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Sato Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see? I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed for what I've done. Okay. Accept that. A crime scene thief. Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this for example. Oh, she knows about that. Is that? This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming. I guarantee it. Yeah, that's why I got the highest conviction rate in Japan. Dear God. I cannot say I condone the witness's action, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle as water as evidence. Share of the day was on the victim's table. Miss Brett. Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death? Yes, it was that bottle. What was that about? Oh, maybe I should take a look at it. Okay, there's gotta be something off about it. Can I look at it from here? Why were you... The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. This must be very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I'm asking. Then go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know. Okay. But... what does the bottle have to do with the case? What does the bottle have to do with the case? What does the bottle have to do with the case? Okay, I don't understand. She was the only one that drank from it. British exchange student who is studying under the victim of Yume University Medical School. She looks older than that. Even for 24. Oh, you're questioning her age? Yes. Yes, I do. I don't know, maybe it's hard to tell when you can barely see her face. Okay, what does the bottle have to do with anything? What was this about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. She didn't like something about that bottle. She didn't like something about the bottle. But why? What about it? This carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. It looks like there's a little left in the bottle. Although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. Get a bottle of water! I'll just have a sip while this keep going. No, Ryusuke, you can't do that. For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence. Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be side, do we? You never cease to amaze me, Ryusuke. In more ways than one. I wonder, could there be anything in this water? What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden. I think it might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility. What? Even I don't know. What possibility? What possibility are we talking about? An inspector will kindly control his fervor. Ahem. Okay. I don't know what why she did. Okay, fine. Don't know why she looked away from the bottle. Why? Does it have something to do with boat? Postman sure no possible cut. If there was some other way a man's life could be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. I think it has something to do with the bottle. It has something to do with the bottle. So here! It's the bottle. What is this? The bottle of water? So I was right. She didn't like it. Why? Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Getting them to drink water that might not be good for him. No. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Oh, okay. Poison. On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Order, order, order! And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison in his drink? There's only one person who possibly could have done it. Giselle Brett! It was you! So there was poison in that bottle? Even I'm not sure, but I'll go with it. It's outrageous to suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile, have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten what we only just signed into a court of friendship? Have you even suggested Vegas inkling the rash accusation should jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime. What? The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We're here to determine. We're here to. Yeah. Grr! Ahem. If I may, I will silence you forever for this disgraceful attack. Really? She told him to shut up. It is you who should be silent. She's like, shut up! Of course. Really? Dear lady! Where did that come from? She just snapped. Really? I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring? I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector. And whether it contained poison or not. Of course. You did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the insides of the bottle and its contents. And? What did you find, Inspector? I already test for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could find no trace of the poison in any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests we were miraculously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No. No! I'm very grateful to all of you Japanese. Really? You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you. But of course, dear lady. Mochiron! The pleasure was all ours. She didn't like that bottle! There was something about that bottle. There was poison. I was so sure. This can't be right! Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, Counsel. I think the cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. Really? I'm done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett. Oh, crap. Oh, no. I'm just glad the matter is resolved. I don't know about that. I don't know. I feel like there's more to it than that. And I pretty much have to use the washroom again. So, I'm gonna put this here, and then, let me make sure the audio is there. Okay. Now, be right back. Okay. I'm back. I'm bloody well back. Okay. And I had more vitamin C. Things are getting very, 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 very interesting. Hopefully that'll cure whatever ails me. Ugh. There we go. Okay, I just had to unplug my Kai Fire. I don't want that cord bent at an angle. Okay. Okay. Now, that way I can hear stuff. And should I even keep going? I should keep going. I should keep going. Okay. Now. Oh, wait. Let me turn the audio back on so I can hear stuff. Alright, here we go. Okay, save it again. For no apparent reason. And then back up. What are we doing? I'm glad the matter is solved. So, basically, they could not find poison. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Okay. How can that be? Stated that host on Do you have any further new evidence presented at the court at this point? How? How can I... Kazuma? Even Kazuma is struggling to come up with something. Even I'm struggling to come up with something. I'm sorry, Rinosuke. I have nothing more. I have, except for the one sweat on my face. If you excuse me, I really must be leaving. No, you don't. You're too involved. Say what? Ooh, you. Please, wait. Isn't that... What is the meaning of this? Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba. So you're basically the daughter of... whoever the hell I spoke to. Eugene Mikotoba. Uh-huh. A judicial assistant of defense lawyer Kazuma Sogi. 16 years old. Mikotoba. In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. Really? And in her hand, she carried a small package. What? I don't even know why someone said what up there. Wrapped in furoshiki cloth. She's underage. She's underage! She's illegal! Don't touch her! No. To be continued. You know what? I think I will take a break right here. Because we have gone for... How long have we gone for? We have gone on... Let me look. For about more than 2 hours. I think it's about time we all took a break. And I will come back at this tomorrow on my day off. Okay? Alright, I gotta get going. Thank you all for joining. Yes, I'm gonna stop it right here. Because as much as I'm curious to see what's going on in the next bits, I gotta stop and take a break. Usually 2 hours is enough for live streams like these. As much as I love to keep going. But I will look at whoever sent what earlier today. Okay? I gotta go. Thank you all for joining. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Okay? Bye.